Khabib, who's this really religious, very moral, ethical person who doesn't drink, he doesn't party, doesn't do anything, he just trains. He's always in phenomenal shape. He takes every fight incredibly serious. He's never been out of shape. He's never been fat. He's missed weight a couple of times earlier in his career, but he got that dialed in. He's just so dedicated. Whereas John is a wild man. He's just wild.
I mean, you talk about not training for the Gustafsson fight. Buddy, that ain't the only fight he didn't train for.
How about what he said to Cormier? I did coke and I still beat you.
And I'm like, I don't think he's lying. I mean, the stories I've heard, I don't want to repeat them because I cannot verify them.
No.
But I've heard stories like, if y'all think that was the one fight, he just like, oh, I'm going to pump the brakes this time. No, bitch. I mean, here's the other part about it. It's like, who's a guy, for example, who maintained dominance through the game and took, significant amounts of time off in boxing? Floyd Mayweather would be a great example of that. Yeah. But Floyd has been training as a family affair from adolescence, right? For the long part of his life. And he is so gifted that he can take time off, and the game is so developed that people aren't going to make warp speed development in his absence. And so they got a little bit better every time he took a little bit of time off, like the Maidana first fight with the corkscrew punch. That was a little bit of a wild card there. But in general, he was able to maintain that dominance. In MMA, the game changes rapidly. Super fast, because people are still discovering best practices. In 2 years, people will not be doing the same kinds of things to the same degree they do now. The calf kick and its explosion is sort of an obvious example of that. John was doing things like not training between camps. I mean, that's something only elite boxers do because they've been doing this since they were 5-6 years old, and they can take the time to not necessarily do that. Whereas most MMA fighters are like, I'm a everyday martial artist. I just ramp it up. He would do nothing and then something and still go out there and beat world fucking champions in what at the time was the UFC's marquee division. That is out of this fucking world bonkers. I'm going to beat you as like a part-time guy?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You just couldn't wrap your head around it.
I wonder if maybe there's some benefit to it, because it's not like he got totally out of shape, but I wonder if there's some benefit to that, and that he's not getting beat up. He's not getting his joints wrecked, and there's
probably
there's a lot. Yeah, it's a real question of like what's the best way to approach it. Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify.